Hello and welcome back to Limbo Lectures. Today, I am your host Jake Corby, and today we will be talking about this new news that just came out about J.J. Watt and the Texans agreeing to be released. Or agreeing for J.J. to be released. This now means that he is going to be a free agent coming up into this 2021 offseason. So the question that we have today is should the Packers sign J.J. Watt? So this question really has multiple layers. One is his on-field production and his on-field play, and two is how much money he wants and how long of a contract he wants. So with JJ, you have to consider a couple of things. One is that he is getting older. I think he's like 32 years old. And two, he has been getting hurt quite a lot. This year he played all 16 games, but the year before that he only played 8. The year before that I'm pretty sure he played all 16, and then I think the year before that he was out for pretty much the whole entire year. So that's a couple of things you have to consider. But if he is on the field, there is a couple good things about that. One is that he gets so much attention because of how big his name is that it could open up some opportunities for other players on our defensive line. Because if we have two players that take up a lot of attention with Za'Darius Smith and J.J. Watt on both edges, this could leave up a lot of room for Kenny Clark to be able to stuff runs and be able to go and get sacks more than he did this year, and Kenny Clark was already very productive. So going on with that, J.J. Watt himself is also, he's been rather consistent the last couple of years when he is on the field. So this year he playing the full 16 games. He only got 5 sacks, but that was because he was taking a lot of attention from other players, and that was helping the Texans with the rest of the defensive line. The year before that, he got 4 sacks in the 8 games that he played. So even that, he was on projection for 8 sacks, and if we can have a player that gets 8 sacks along with the other defensive linemen, I feel like that would be very good for our defense. But that is all well and good, but the real reason you're picking him up is you are hoping that he returns back to his former self in the years of 2018, 2015, and 2012. This is because in 2018, he had 16 sacks, which obviously that is always going to be one of the highest in the league. Then 2015, he had 17.5 sacks. In 2012, he had 20.5. So if he could get even close to that type of production for the Packers, that would be outstanding. Because for us to bring him in, he'd be on pretty low amount of money. So if we get that production for that amount, it would just be awesome. So now we got to talk about if the Packers are actually picking him up. So we got to look at who else is really going to be battling to pick him up, because if there's no one else, and there's no need for him in the market, it will drive his price down. I feel like there are really only 3 or 4 major teams that want to get him. So first, we have the Packers, obviously. That's just who we're talking about. But then we have the Steelers. The Steelers don't really have the tendency of picking up somebody like a J.J. Watt, but the only reason people think that they will get him is because the other 2 Watt brothers are on the team. And there was even a tweet earlier today of T.J. Watt telling J.J. Watt to come to Pittsburgh. I don't feel like that is very likely because they do not seem like a team that likes to spend big on older players. Secondly, I think we have the Tennessee Titans, because the Titans have shown over the last couple of years that they want to get a good edge rusher, and they just haven't been able to. This year they tried Clowney, and he did not work out for them, so that could be another person that would want to pick him up because they feel like they're one good edge rusher away from getting deep into this playoffs again. So somebody like a J.J. Watt could really help out their team. Another team is the Seahawks. I don't know how much interest they will have in them, but they always do seem to pick up a lot of the older defensive linemen and defensive stars in the past, because even with his teammate Clowney, he was on the Seahawks for a couple of years before getting released. So if they can move from Clowney, then have a year off without Clowney, and then pick up another former Texan star, that would be great for their defense, which is already outstanding in terms of pass rush. And then finally, the last team, I don't think they really have much interest in them, but it is the Buccaneers, and that's just purely because he could want to go down to the Tampa Bay with Tom Brady and try to get a ring if he thinks that's the best possibility of him getting to the Super Bowl finally. So now let's go back to the Packers. So I do not believe the Packers will be able to get him strictly because of the cap, and he will probably be looking for lots of money. So that is not a good sign when it comes to the Packers because we don't really have that much in terms of cap space. But there is a slight possibility that we are able to get him. Not just strictly that he's from Wisconsin, and in the past, I think his mother came out and talked about how as a kid his greatest want in life was to play with the Green Bay Packers and how big of a fan he was. So this could mean that he would take a hometown discount just to come back and play with the Packers since we are a good team and can utilize him, and he's able to go back home and do what he wanted when he was a little kid. So that is a strong possibility, I feel like, of him coming back. So now in terms of money, I feel like it'll be hard to get him because I think we will need him for under $10 million. But I do feel like a team like this Steelers or the Seahawks, I mean not the Steelers, I mean the Titans or the Seahawks would pay him more. So it really comes down to the fact is, does he want money or does he want to come back and live out his childhood dreams? So overall, I'll give it a yes if the Packers should try and get him, but I'll put it as a no if we will sign him, just strictly because I feel like other teams will pay more for him. And most of the time in the NFL, it is about money and not about like what teams you like, because it is a business. It's not really about personal emotions. So that is all I have to say about this. If you guys have any disagreements or if you agree with me, leave in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would be very appreciated. And also hit the subscribe button because that would help me out, and I would be very thankful if you hit the subscribe button. But that's all I have today. So as always, go Pack Go.